welcome in everyone. Just give me a quick second to get my stuff ready here. Let's see. Hopefully we can get this camera rolling. All right. Oh boy. Okay, so let me pull that up now. So since my camo must have the permission there. Yeah. All right. Let me see if I can switch that over to camo. Boom. Cool. We got that. Nice.
Awesome. Sweet.
Nice. Got our camera working now. All right. Okay. Guys, I have a special guest today. He's another anti-MLM voice. This is my boy TJ. We did a couple of videos, um, what, sometime last week, right? Uh,
Yep.
and he has his own socials. He's got a Spotify, he's got Instagram, he's got YouTube. So make sure you are checking his socials out and go support him because these MLMs are giving him a really rough time. So we would greatly appreciate you guys heading on over to his socials over at TJ Musumi. And you also have the podcast, right? Your Unplugged podcast on
Yep.
Spotify. Yeah. Yeah, so
Yep. Yep.
go over there. I'll be sure to link all that stuff uh, down in the comment section. So you guys go and check him out. As he's talking, I'll go ahead and find those links for you guys so that you guys can check it out and support him because he's having a really rough time right now. They're giving him a rough time, but we got his back. In that right, chat? We got his back, and we're going to take care of our boy here. So, but real quick disclaimer: this is an 18 plus stream. Also, this is an 18 plus channel. If you are under the age of if you are under the age of 18, ensure that you notify your parent or guardian that you are here. And if you don't have their permission, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the stream. Appreciate that, guys. So that with that out of the way, we are talking about a few things today. We're talking about the fraud, deception, and also the tool scam. So, TJ, I'm going to go ahead and have you introduce yourself. But before that, I want to welcome everyone that's pouring in. So, welcome, guys. Thanks for popping in here. Garden, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a great day. So, I may not get to a lot of the chat today simply because TJ and I will be talking, and I don't want to interrupt him. So just make sure you guys sit tight for me. It's not that I don't want to read your comments; it's that we're having a conversation. So, all right, guys, cool. TJ, go ahead and if you want to introduce yourself and give us a good idea of who you are within the anti-MLM community, and then kind of give like a brief explanation on what's going on with you right now, and then take it on into what we're talking about today.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I really appreciate you having me on and having me on your platform. Yeah, I'm TJ Masumi. Currently, I'm being sued by two Amway Diamonds that are part of LTD because of my content that's talking about some of their business practices. And currently, right now, we're like in a lawsuit battle where they're suing me for defamation, and then I'm countersuing them. And then recently, my lawyer left, and so now I'm trying to find a new lawyer, a new representation at the moment. And the other party is attempting to try and silence my content and to try and take it down. So I'm doing my best to defend myself at the moment and find a new lawyer, and hopefully I get a chance to show all my evidence. But yeah,
Your audio cut out, TJ. Oh,
in
okay.
case my content gets, oh, gotcha. In case my content gets taken down, my goal was to try and make a series on here and try and show with LTD,
Mhm.
just so then people, prospects and down know what's actually happening and what the opportunity actually is versus like what they try and portray it to be.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Dope. Okay. So you've been a influencer for a little bit now, right? How long have
Yeah,
you been an influencer for?
it's kind of weird saying that. Like about 2 years. I started like around early 2024. That's when I started my podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's about 2 years.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
dude. Well, awesome, dude. Congrats, man. Um. Okay. Yeah. So. Uh. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about just take us on into the just all the stuff that you've been finding on the tool scam, the fraud, the deception, because what
Awesome.
information kind of just led you into the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just start from the beginning. So if you're a prospect, they usually go to like people that are shopping at grocery stores very often, or like a gas station when you're getting gas at a gas pump. They'll start a very, very casual conversation with you, won't even notice a thing. And then eventually they'll take an interest in you and saying, hey, what do you do? Do you go to school around here and stuff like that? And then be very, very casual. You won't notice a thing. And then like since they're taking an interest in you, they'll ask you, the prospect will ask the IBO or the rep
Hmm.
and say, what do you do? And like they'll say, hey, I work here and here, but on the side, I'm working with a guy that built a web-based asset and he retired at 30, making six figures plus. And he's showing me that so I don't have to work a job forever. Or they'll say I'm working with a couple that was able to build a web-based asset and double their income outside their jobs. And they showed it how to do that so I don't have to work a job forever and have more options. Or I'm working with the guy that built a web-based asset, retired in his um, mid 20s and making six figures plus, and he's teaching me the same thing to work a job forever. So that's the pitch, and that pitch is actually a violation under the Amway QAS quality assurance content standards.
Hmm.
So actually, I have it here. I'm trying to read it out. So it's on page 17. Let's see. So here it's saying this is permitted from Amway for a rep to do to any prospect or downline. It says here you're not allowed to say we are learning how to develop a business, thereby creating a financial asset of our own. This asset provides us with cash flow. That's actually not permitted by Amway. Same as here, this business is all about mentorship. Take that part away and you have no business whatsoever. So here in the Amway QS content standards, it states how it's like the rules of what Amway IBOs are supposed to follow when describing the Amway opportunity. You're not allowed to describe Amway as a mentorship opportunity. And like they also say here, they call it the AP. That means a tool system. So here it says that you're not allowed to describe Amway or the AP as a mentorship business opportunity where you're getting mentored. And also states on the Amway QS that kind of standards that you're not allowed to describe or imply Amway as a way to replace your career level income, job full-time income, and
Hmm.
you're not supposed to like describe it as a way to like build a massive financial wealth. That's what it states. And so through doing that, that's you ultimately false advertising just from the beginning when
Right.
you first get introduced um, by an IBO. And
Hmm.
we were taught with this pitch to exaggerate the lifestyle claims about our mentor or upline. And so we were taught by our upline, if you want to, if you feel comfortable, you can say millionaires, just because it sounds more impressive. And like we were taught that like we have to do it that way to shock them and to create this sort of pull
Hmm.
with the prospect to get them eager to join. And so we were taught, if you want to say millionaires, you can say that, yeah, I'm working with some millionaires. everybody but a web-based asset, and they're coaching me how to do that, so I have to work a job forever, or like six figures or whatever. But they said they had to be very, very impressive, and like my upline would always say, technically that's actually true because we have their audios in the system, and we listen to their audios constantly through the LTE tool system. But that's still actually a lie because you're not actually working with that direct person that might be making millions of dollars because we were always taught that get with your coach, with your coach, and like eventually down the road when you get launched, you're not going to actually be working with that individual that might be making millions of dollars. You'll be with someone that like a platinum or below that's like still working a job, not making six figures or millions of dollars. And
Hmm.
so like your direct coach that's actually going to coaching you how to, prospect and how to build your business, like they're not actually going to have those results,
Right.
if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of like lured in by this idea of being working with a millionaire or six figures
Hmm.
earner, but like when you actually get launched and join, like your actual coach that you're actually going to be having is not making that lifestyle. And like the person that might
Right.
be a millionaire or making six figures, it's like someone you don't actually know personally and they don't know you. You're just hearing their audios from the tool system, and that's not direct coaching. And so that
Or
still falls under the lines.
or it could
Oh yeah, go ahead.
be my situation where my gala shows up, right? And
Yeah,
I mean, my upline was in communication with him, but they could pop in, they could show up, and I don't even know if they are a millionaire, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
seeing as how they have their own website, right, and um they run the meetings and everything like that, I would imagine that they
yeah,
are at least a six-figure earner through that alone,
yeah,
right? But a lot of the time, the that is the deception. They will tell you, "Oh, hey, I know this guy. I know this guy, that guy, that woman, whatever." And people will be like, "Oh, wow, dude." They'll be so awestruck by just the name dropping itself, right? And that that is what is so dangerous is just
yeah,
when they approach you with all of this information. One, you can't even verify
yeah,
until you get into it, right? And then two,
yeah,
well, I mean, there is something. I mean, you can verify it through research, right? But
yeah,
you don't know what you don't know, right? And that's what's really, really dangerous. Sorry.
yeah,
That's what's really, really dangerous about MLMs. They love to just throw information out there that that you unfortunately can't really do a whole lot about until you get into the actual thing. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I could
yeah,
just continue on with the deception.
yeah. Like so, like in your situation, if you had Crossline that had that same line of sponsorship, recruitment, so
Hmm.
like your first immediate recruiter, if you're like a prospect people and you're saying that I'm working with this millionaire or six figures earner, but like your direct coach was not making that. It's actually the galas that are actually doing that. And the galas aren't actually coaching you directly. Hope that makes sense. It still falls on the line of
Give me just a
misleading.
second.
Just because you're
Yeah, keep going.
oh,
Keep, keep
gotcha.
you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, gotcha. So it still falls on the line of misleading because like your direct coach that you're learning from isn't actually making six figures. Hope that makes sense because like the one that you're describing is someone that you're not actually working with directly and actually like communicating with and like on the phone asking questions and being mentored actually. So that falls under the line of misleading, and so that would be a violation of the FTC Act and state consumer protection laws. It states here with the FTC Act that it's basically um, false or misleading statements or material omissions for the FTC Act. And then state
Right.
consumer protection law states it's a practice to mislead consumers. And so prospects are being misled by this false lifestyle claim that
Mm,
reps a part of LTD are doing to them by claiming that I'm working with so and so that built this when their actual coach isn't actually building a six figures $1 million asset or business. Um, and so just by doing, this false labeling of a lifestyle claim about an upline or recruiter, a mentor of yours, that all falls under state consumer protection laws and
mm,
um, the FTC Act, and it prohibits for those laws um, to not try and mislead prospects in order to get them lured into a business venture, business opportunity, and it's all false advertising as well because like with Amway and the QAS standards, it states that like you're not allowed to make any income claims that are not truthful and not
right.
accurate, and you're not supposed to describe Amway um, as a way to like replace your job level income as well. And then like further on from that conversation, when you first meet a rep, if the prospect ever asks, is it Amway or um, is this, yeah, they'll say like, is it Amway or whatever. We were always taught to lie to the prospect and say, no, it's not Amway, or we were always taught, I don't know what that is. We would say, I don't know what that is, or do you mean selling and recruiting? And like, if the prospect said yes,
Worldwide
then we
Dream
would
Builders.
say,
I don't know what
no.
Amway is.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, by lying about how it's not Amway, that also falls under the FTC Act, where
Yeah.
you're misleading consumers by thinking that it's not Amway, not an MLM. And like
Right.
we were generally taught to directly lie to them if we're ever asked, is it Amway? And like that also then falls under, the QAS kind of standards where we're not allowed to mislead anyone, and like we're supposed to be direct and show people that like this is the Amway um opportunity, but like if we're ever told that when we first meet you initially with that first conversation, we're told that we're not supposed to say that it's Amway, and that if we're ever asked that it is
Right.
Amway, we're supposed to lie and say that it's not Amway. So that's a violation of the FTC Act as well.
Yeah.
And from there, then we'll drop the message. That's what it's called, where like we get their phone number and the prospect's phone number, and like we'll say, are you the kind of person that keeps themselves open to opportunities if they ever arise? And then if this prospect says yes, then we'll say, okay, I can't make any guarantees, but if I were to get you introduced to my mentors, um, would you place high value upon that? And then if the answer is yes to that, then the last one is okay. If I were trying to get you connected with my mentors, um, would you take that seriously? And if that's a yes, then they'll take the prospect's phone number and then their phone number. They give the prospect's phone number first, and then they won't give their phone number. And then from there, they'll give you two phone calls. And like throughout this whole time, you're not even knowing that it's Amway yet. And just by omitting that it's Amway, that's a violation of the FTC Act because the FTC Act states that you can't make any kind of material omissions. And so material omission would be any kind of material fact um, that makes it more understanding of a business opportunity or a venture. And so in this case, not knowing that it's the Amway opportunity, that's a material fact where we're not being shown or known about the business venture or opportunity that we're being interviewed for. And so, we do two phone calls and then we set up a meeting, and that's a 7 to 9 meeting interview process. And through that process, you're going to go to either Panera Bread or a Starbucks or whatever. And like, you're going to be
Starbucks.
just be
Yes.
meeting, you'll
Yeah.
be meeting with like the recruiter, and like, they're going to give you a book to read a couple of times, and like, they'll give you this website to look at. It's like they made themselves where like it's talking about passive income versus active income, and like they'll they're gonna like
It's
basically
it's a
vet you
bunch
to
of
see.
it's a bunch of buzzwording. It's a bunch of
Yeah,
useless words that mean nothing. because it's not.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people who have been conned trying to teach someone on business, and a lot of
Yeah.
times they just throw stuff together, right?
Yeah.
To convince you that this opportunity, this business opportunity, is one that's well worth taking, right? And that's just not that's just not how it is, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And like they'll like describe it as this. So before they name it, it's a 7 to 9 minute interview process. So before they name that it's Amway, you'll keep getting told that this is ongoing income opportunity, a financial independence opportunity, a way to build passive income opportunity, all those things, and that's actually all prohibited with Amway and the Amway
mhm.
QS content standards. It states there that you're not allowed to describe Amway as a way to build passive income, ongoing income, financial freedom, and financial independence. And but they violate all those rules, and so doing that would be a deceptive trade practice through the method of bait and switch.
Mhm.
And that's basically where a business or recruiter is using misleading statements to get someone to either buy, join a business venture or a product, and etc. So in other words, it's basically a person attracts you with one thing, but then the real thing is being sold. That's actually being sold is different. So in this case, they're selling to you initially an unnamed venture or opportunity that's a way to build passive income, ongoing income, and financial freedom. And then later on, when they reveal that it's Amway, you'll find out later if you read the contract. Amway prohibits any rep whatsoever, any IBO to describe Amway as a way to build passive income, financial independence, financial freedom, ongoing income,
Oh wow,
because
they
Amway prohibits
actually
it.
do that.
Yeah, yeah, I
That's
have
in
it right
Amway's
here
policy.
actually. So yeah, yeah. I'll try and read it right here. Yeah. So if you go on the Amway QS content standards, page 4, it states that some words and phrases are always prohibited, including but not limited to quit your job, be set for life, make more money than you ever imagined or thought possible, unlimited income, full-time income, residual income, career level income, financial freedom, financial independence, passive income, and any other statements that are similar to that as well. And it states here too that APs, meaning tool systems and IBOs, are prohibited from um, representing that income is guaranteed or assured. It's all in the Amway QS standards. I have that on my websites too. It's
Mhm.
called the Amway Quality Assurance Standards. So I have the
Wow,
document
that
virtually on
I
my
didn't.
website.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They use those words all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Second stream of income, residual income, passive income.
Passive income.
They use
Yeah.
those words all the time.
Yeah.
So
So that's the
what is
bait,
the FTC
which is
doing about this?
um
As far as I know,
from
they're
what I heard.
nothing.
Yeah. Um, Honestly, I'm going to throw them under the bus. So they're actually investigating LTD from what I last heard, and I'm not sure if it's still ongoing right now. But
Hmm.
when I first started, the FTC was investigating LTD for quite a while, and I actually got that phone number. I actually reached out to them as well, the investigator. But that was like about a year and a half ago, so I have no idea if it's still ongoing right now. But they at least were being investigated, if still not right now. But yeah, basically nothing. Because like I found online too that like I found like a document online, a PDF file. Um, it was basically a list of complaints that were filed to the FTC, and like the complaints were requesting the FTC to show all of the complaints that have been made to the FTC about a tool system from Amway. So like Worldwide Dream Builders, LTD. I'm trying to see if I can find it, but like people were requesting all the complaints that have been made to the FTC about the tool systems and disclosing what's been talked about. And like the FTC responded saying that they didn't want to, um, well, they just didn't want to do it or like want to like disclose all the complaints publicly about the tool systems, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
I found it on. It's like a long document. I found it online, and then I went on AI to like summarize it. And like basically, people were like asking, um, FTC to disclose the complaints that have been made about the tool system to the FTC, and like the FTC denied that request from them. So yeah, they basically do nothing, basically. And like I've actually I know someone that's a higher up from LTD. This used to be a higher up, and like he told me that the FTC has actually talked to a couple of the higher ups in LTD over like certain violations that they've been doing, and like they've warned them not to do them again. So like a lot of it's like a slap on the wrist, where like if they do get caught LTD, it's like the FTC will reach out to them and tell them not to do it anymore, and like it'll just be like a warning, so to speak, instead of like an actual
Yeah, just a slap on the wrist.
consequence. Yeah,
Just a slap
yeah,
on the wrist, you know. Unless you're unless you're Herbalife, then you then you get the hammer brought to for whatever
yeah,
reason. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I haven't really seen the FTC do hardly anything about MLMs. Matter of fact,
yeah,
it seems as though they're trying to protect them.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I had hope about the investigation with the FTC investigating LTD, but like it's been so long now, and I haven't heard back from them at all in a while. So like I have no
yeah.
idea.
I
And
mean,
they
it
told
would
me to do
make
a
me
private, but
wonder.
I don't care.
It would make me wonder who's getting paid off. You know, who's getting paid for what,
Yeah,
right? Because obviously,
yeah,
if nothing's getting done, you would assume that something's happening, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I that
so
were investigating LTD, but like I don't care at this point because it's been so long. So,
right,
so I'm throwing them under the
right,
bus. Um,
right.
but yeah, so like that's being switched where the bait is that you're being lured in by thinking that it's passive income, financial independence opportunity, and then the switch is that no, it's an Amway opportunity where it's deliberately claims itself not to be a passive income opportunity, and it prohibits, its reps to describe Amway as a passive income opportunity, because it's not. Like it's not my words; it's Amway saying that, Amway saying that we are not a passive income financial freedom opportunity. But unfortunately, prospects are being lured in by thinking that this is a way to build financial independence and passive income and ongoing income opportunity. And so that's just all deception that falls under the lines of deceptive trade practice through bait and switch method. So that's
Hmm.
also then illegal as well. And so like eventually you get to the third meeting within the 7 to 9 meeting interview process, and that's when you're actually shown that it is Amway finally. And like usually that's at the board plan where like you see that a PowerPoint
You know,
presentation
that would
of the
beg the
whole.
question: if it was a legitimate business, why hide that information until the third meeting
Yeah,
that they're
exactly.
Amway? You know,
Yeah, 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 and even hiding like that information is still illegal, even if it's temporarily. So they'll always say that it's a vetting process, and so like you have to like earn your way to know what it is. Like they say that it's okay because we eventually tell people that it is Amway somewhere in the vetting process, but that's still illegal to hide it even temporarily, because that's a material omission, a material fact that's being omitted. And like you have the right as a prospect to know what it is from the beginning when you first meet them, just to know and get an understanding of what this opportunity is. That doesn't mean they're required to show their trade secrets and how they build their Amway business and stuff, and like go into detail on how they build Amway. They're just supposed to be required to reveal that it's the Amway opportunity and not something else, or not hide what it is. So that's a violation of PCI where you're just omitting a material fact to prevent people from understanding what this opportunity is.
right?
And then at this board plan, the third meeting in the interview process, at this board plan, you're being shown the Amway comp plan, compensation plan. And there you're told that, like, at least for my meetings anyway, you're told that Platinum's made 50 to 75K annually, told that Rubies make higher than Platinum. Rubies make 80K to 120K annually, and you're told that Emeralds make 250K annually, and you're told that Diamonds make 500K annually. Um, that's what every prospect and downline member that's in that meeting is told. But those are actually false income claims. I did the research. So according to Amway,
Do you know what those? Do you know what that income actually looks like?
uh, actually, yeah. For platinum, if you go on the Amway website, they have the Amway income disclosure, and on my website, it's called www.yourfinancialfund.com. I have the income disclosure from like the previous years, even before. So like
Mm-hmm.
every year, Amway makes a annual income disclosure of the previous year of certain ranks, such as platinum, Founders Platinum, and below.
Yeah.
And so they've been doing that for years. And so I have a link to my site where it has like all the income disclosures from the past like decade or so. And but if you go on the Amway.com, they have the current one from last year, 2020, 2025, and like it'll state there that like the average Amway income for IBOs in the U.S. before expenses is less than $1,000. I'll say that again. So the average annual income for every IBO in the U.S. is less than $1,000 before expenses. And then for Founders Platinum, that's Q12 Platinum, it's less than 47K annually before expenses. And then for Platinum, it's less than 25K annually before expenses. Um, I know that because I've done the research, and like every year it's the same thing. It's less than 1,000 for every IBO, and it's less than 47K for Founders Platinum Q12, and it's less than 25K annually before expenses in just platinum level annually in the US. So like yeah, it's not much money at all being made with
I
Amway
mean,
reps whatsoever.
those are prison wages. No,
Yeah,
those are literally nothing. Some numbers that I was seeing was like
yeah,
$1,000 12 month for like 12 months. Not even like I think it was what $967 something like that.
yeah, yeah, less than 1,000. Yeah,
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 yeah. So
and then
definitely very far from the millionaire
but
that they were
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Then I'll pull it right here. So Amway doesn't make any income claims annually above the founder's platinum level, and they actually require all their reps to not make any annual income claims above the founder's platinum level. So here it states on one of the documents, it's called the Amway Guiding Principles document. I have that on my website as well on
Yeah.
both of them. There it states that testimonials must show appropriate disclosures, including typical results and context, up to the income and qualification level appropriate for the audience. For example, for messages to prospects, include information up to the founder's platinum level only. So that means that when you're talking to a prospect or a downline member, you're not allowed to make any income claims above founder's platinum rank. So that means the income claims made about Ruby, Emerald, and Diamond, those were all false income claims by default. The reason why is because those are above Founders Platinum, and Amway as a corporation doesn't make any income claims above Founders Platinum annually whatsoever in any of their um, documents or their disclosures whatsoever. They make zero income claims above Founders Platinum annually.
Why?
So, Ruby, um, well, they just don't. Like if you go to they just don't because like they have it as a rule here. You're not allowed to make any income claims above Founders Platinum. And like if you do your research, there's no like any kind of disclosure whatsoever about Ruby Emerald Diamond income for annual income because they don't make any income claims above Founders Platinum.
Right, but
They just don't. No,
why do you think, in your opinion, why do you think that is?
I'm not really sure exactly. To be honest with you, because I don't know why they wouldn't. Like
Yeah, right. Because
from my research,
you
I
would
found that they
imagine
don't make.
anyone that's coming
Yeah,
into the company would,
yeah,
because I mean it's a part of their business, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
unless that's more for LTD, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, but like with Amway, like this alone, like outside the tool system, like Amway's alone, they don't make any income claims above Founders Platinum for
Oh,
annual
okay,
income.
okay. So
Um,
this is pertained to Amway itself.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
it's
got
not
it.
an LTD rule. It's not a tool system rule. It's not a Worldwide
Okay,
Dream Builders rule.
got
It's
it. Okay,
actually it's an Amway rule
right.
where it states in their documentation here. that reps are not allowed to make any um, annual income claims above founders platinum level rank. So that means any
Yeah,
rank
that's
above founders
really
platinum
weird.
level that you heard, yeah.
My
So
my
that makes every income
my
claim,
my guess is they don't do that because they would know what happened if they did, right? So
yeah,
they would be seeing people making millions of dollars, potentially billions of dollars, while
yeah,
everyone else is supposedly making prison wages, right? And
yeah,
I think that would warrant an
yeah,
investigation from the FTC, and then they would have to, get into a lot of legal stuff.
yeah,
That would be my guess as to why they don't do that. But
yeah.
it's a part of their income, so they should disclose that.
Yeah, yeah, but for some reason they just don't want to for Amway. So that's the reason why I've been saying on my platform that they make false income claims because none of those claims are actually supported or substantiated by Amway. Because Amway doesn't make any claims above Founders Platinum rank, which is Ruby, Emerald,
Yeah,
Diamond whatsoever. So if you make a claim about Emerald annually or Diamond annually or Ruby annually, that's all false because
right.
Amway doesn't do that, and Amway prohibits any rep to make any claims above founders platinum level for annual income.
I
So
wonder
that's why I've been saying
if
no.
there are other MLMs that do that as well. Because I've been covering Sensi a little bit, and
Gotcha.
I can see them doing that as well. But
Yeah,
I it's just yeah, it's super weird to me. It's super sus as to why they don't disclose that information. But
yeah,
anyways,
yeah. It'd probably be in the Sensi income disclosure where it'll talk about the rules on what Sensi's supposed to do for a rep, and and then if you find out what they're actually doing behind the scenes, then that's how you can find out if it's either false claims or not.
well, I
That's
do
what
know
I did.
there are
So I
some
looked up.
lawsuits that are being brought against Cincy right now.
Okay, gotcha.
There was a lawsuit brought almost a year ago that's still ongoing. So
Gotcha.
hopefully Cincy goes down here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be based on that where the plaintiff is saying that, hey, this is Sensi's rules and this is
Mm,
what they violated these rules. Um,
right.
so that's what I'm doing here with Amway, where the income claims are actually false and they're violating Amway's rules as far as what you can say to prospects and downline about income claims. And so they would claim that plaintiffs make 50 to 75K annually. But if you look at the income disclosure, that's way below that. And
Yeah.
I found a document here too. It talks about how um, Founders Platinum, what you can actually earn up to as far as Founders Platinum. And they said that you can earn annually up to $53,400 annually. That's what they said. That's what Amway claims that Founders Platinum can make $53,400 annually, but not 75K. So like any kind of income claim that you find from Amway, it's all gonna be different from what they claim from LTD, and so that's false income claims where they're making claims that are not supported or substantiated by Amway. Um,
Hmm.
so I wanted to point that out there where that board plan, it's all false income claims where none of those claims are actually true. And if you actually look up Amway and all of its rules and all of its earning claims, it doesn't align with what they tell you at the info session. So that's
Right.
all false inflammation. And I have evidence of that on my websites. So that's the third meeting. And then throughout that, you're gonna go through a budget session and they're gonna tell you that, hey, um, you need to budget your money to have enough money for the tool system as well as your ditto as well. And that actually goes against the Amway
Yeah.
rules as well.
Yeah. They want to see how deep your pockets are so that they can tell you how
Yeah,
much money to put aside for the business, right?
yeah,
To put to start buying products, right? It's the whole thing,
yeah,
right? They want to convince
yeah,
you to buy nothing but their products so that you keep the money train going for them,
yeah. Yeah, and
right?
on page 30 in the Amway QA standards, it states that you're not allowed to acquire prospect or an IBO to budget or reserve funds for future purchases. of BSM, which is the tool system, as a condition of being supported or sponsored by an IBO. So that's actually a violation when you do that budget session during the vetting process.
But they don't stop it.
Allowed to do that. Yeah, and like it states here, so you're not allowed to acquire um, you're not allowed to acquire the AP or the tool system as a way to get sponsored by an IBO. It's like they'll tell you that we will only mentor you if you join the tool system, which is it means if you join our training to be trained by us and mentored by us, and you're not allowed to do that as like because like Amway states to IBOs that you're not allowed to acquire the tool system to join Amway. If
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like that's a violation of Amway's rules there too, and like um they'll tell you to like if you get mentored by us, you're gonna like learn about like life as a whole, as well as financially and stuff. And like, um, you're always going to want to check upline first about life decisions and stuff like that, because like we have your best interest in heart. Um, that's all a violation as well. It states here too, IBOs must consult a, it's not permitted here. So not permitted is, it states that IBOs must consult AP tool system or uplines on life decisions and financial decisions. This is not permitted because every IBO has the freedom to make decisions in their own business. Um, so like even doing that, it's also violating Amway's rules. They violate
Which
so
is
many
interesting
of the rules
because
with
all the way
Amway.
throughout the month, they will tell you, get your ditto, do your ditto. And all
Yeah,
of that is, well, for one, it's anxiety inducing, right? Because you want to stay
yeah,
active, and that's how you stay active within within the company, right? Is that you meet a certain threshold. And so that being the case, they always push you to get your ditto, which means you just buying product. That's what it means.
yeah,
But that's all that
yeah,
it means is just you buying product. So you go and
yeah,
you buy product, and how these MLMs they get around the FTC's policies on what constitute what constitutes a legitimate business as far as multi-level marketing goes, is that they have to meet that's what 70 or 80%
yeah,
of
yeah.
sales that's outside of the company itself.
Yeah,
But what they don't tell you is that all of that, and it doesn't matter if it's within the 70% or not, all of it is just the IBO is buying product. And that's all that it is. They just have people falsify those records.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah. And so that explains. Remember the Larry and Pam Winners video? I know you talked about that on your platform. It talks about like what they violated at their last conference and back in the fall. So that's the reason why they were suspended. Is because it states there too that they made income claims above Founders Platinum, and that's not allowed as a rule. That's why they were suspended. And then they use prohibited words such as financial freedom, financial
right.
independence, passive income. That's prohibited words. That's why they got suspended as well. And then like they misrepresented the AP. That means they misrepresented the tool system LTD by stating that you have to budget for like what I said before, you budget for the tool system, and that like it's a mentorship opportunity, and that it's not. I will say that with about Amway or the tool system, and like how like um you always check upline first about life decisions and stuff like that. Like it's all within the rules of Amway where like they were violating those rules. That's the reason why they got suspended about earning claims and prohibited words and um the tool system. So that is why they were suspended. The owners of LTD. And like also too they were making earning claims about Amway, and they were not showing the income disclosure, and so that's why they got suspended as well, because they weren't showing the appropriate disclosures about certain earning claims. So according to the Amway rules, on page 6 actually, of the Amway QS standards. Every IBO, if they make any kind of earning claim about Amway, they are required to show the income disclosure, the annual income disclosure provided by Amway on their website. If they don't do that, that's a violation of the Amway QS kind of standards, and it's actually a violation of the FTC Act as well, because you're hiding and omitting a material fact, and that fact is the income disclosure that's released by Amway. So I wanted to point that out there as well, is that every rep is supposed to show the income disclosure, and they don't because it shows how people make very little money with Amway
Right.
every single year. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
so that's pretty much the only way that these companies are ever really making any kind of money, and that's off of the well, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would say the best way that they're making money is through the tool
tool
scam
system.
itself. Yeah, the tool
Yeah,
scam itself.
yeah,
And guys, just for a little bit more context on the tool system, there are these things that are called audios, and it's basically just a system where you pay to hear indoctrination. That's what it is. Pretty much, just in layman's terms, the very simple explanation of it all. It's you paying. It's literally you paying to be indoctrinated, right? So you have these clips, right, of speeches at conferences or meetings or whatnot that have been recorded so that people who are in the business, because that's what we call uh the the these companies themselves, the business, right? Because that's how they portray themselves to be, is the business. It's the business, the business. You're building your business, right? So they'll do these speeches, they'll record it, and then they'll have you buy these clips. I remember when I first got into Amway, my uplines were buying me audios left and right. You know, they were some of them
yeah,
were 15 minutes long, some of them were an hour long, right? And they would track you. They would, that's one of the most disgusting things about this. They will track you, and if you're not doing those audios like they would like you to do the audios, then the manipulation will really begin to happen, right? The gaslighting, the no, I wouldn't say love bombing, because it's not. mm, you only get love bombed when you do what they want you to do, but
yeah,
uh and on that, I remember calling, one of my uplines, and they'd be like, what's going on? What was it? Platinum JB or something like that. And it was crazy, man. But yeah, that's one of the ways that they do that is through the audios. Another are books, the tickets for the meetings, the
yeah,
conferences especially. And what they'll do is they won't provide any means of transportation or help you with any means of transportation. You have to do that, and some of the tickets are like $100 per ticket, right?
yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah.
how high have you seen it go when it comes to the tickets?
180 $180 now, currently, right now. $180.
Wow.
Right now, it's a 1 day event online. $180.
Oh yeah, because I think they stopped doing them in person, didn't they?
Yep, yeah, at least for some of them. I know Spring Forward, which is the last one recently, that was $180 for this one ticket for 1 day online Saturday.
What's really interesting, when I got into uh Amway, there was this, exactly, falsified seminars, 100%. What
Yeah,
what what they would do is they would tell us, "Oh, hey, your first year is completely free. You're not going to have to pay for anything," right? But what they don't tell you on the
yeah,
back end is that the the expiration date on where everything is free and where you have to start paying to go to the meetings, the conferences, and stuff like that, it ends at the end of that same year, and it doesn't matter what time of the year you decide to join. It could be November, and the expiration date is still in December. So, so
Yeah.
when that expiration hits, you have to then start paying for everything, right? So,
Yeah.
of course, it's deception after deception after deception, lies and lies and more lies, and
Yeah.
all to extort people when they're most vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
I do remember I just dropped out of college, and I was having a lot of PTSD issues. I was having a lot of mental health issues, depression, anxiety, stuff like that. And I made the unfortunate decision to lean into these guys, right? Because they were the only ones around me that seemed as though they were, reasonable. And
Yeah.
I was desperate to get out of the financial situation that I was heading into. The only reason I went to college is to uh, get a job, a decent paying job, and they absolutely took advantage of that. They absolutely
Yeah.
took advantage of that because of all of the deception, right? All the false income claims, right? And I was even more sold when my Aunt Gala showed up, right? And was saying all the things that he was saying, and it was it was insane. I'm very glad that I started asking questions,
Yeah.
and things sounded
Yeah.
extremely weird, right? I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for that. So,
Yeah.
just to just kind of give you guys a little bit more context on my story. I was in the gym. I think it was like leg day or something. And I was asking one of my uplines about the excess energy drinks, one of the products that's sold on Amway's website. And the answer I got from who, because I wanted a little bit of background, so I was asking, you guys have been telling me that a marathon runner kind of developed this whole thing and it's healthy and everything like that. Okay, so who developed it, right? And bro wouldn't give me an answer. He wouldn't give me an answer. So I said okay, that's fine. I'll look it up myself. And then the the what I found out was it wasn't just one person, it was two people who developed it. And one of them is no longer a part of Amway. One of them still is. And then what was so weird about the entire thing was that it was the gaslighting, because this guy said the story does it, or excuse me, the names don't matter. What does matter is the story.
Yeah.
Um, what? You know, it's like you are basing this product's quality off of someone's credibility. So that doesn't make any sense. If we're talking about someone's credibility, obviously a name is going to come with it. And you want to try to tell me that someone's name doesn't matter when it comes to credibility? That's weird. So I spent the better part of 12 hours, 12 straight hours, researching MLMs. And that's when I found out that what was going on was actually scam. It was a scam.
Yeah.
So yeah, tool system, uh it's that's how they make the majority of their money, I would say, is through the tool scam.
Yeah.
And
That's definitely true.
Right. Right. And I covered Larry and Pam Winter's apology for their false claims. They literally said in the beginning of their apology video they messed up because they were uh a bunch of disparaging remarks were made because I remember watching that, looking back at that spring conference, and they were, dude, they were just making fun of people. They were absolutely making fun of people. It was so disgusting. But they were also making false income claims too, and they admitted to that in their apology video. And that's something that I did cover quite a while ago. So if you guys want to watch that, feel free to. So unfortunately, that video was taken down.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Hmm.
From your channel? Oh,
No,
wow.
no, 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 not from mine. No, from Megan's channel.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because she had posted the entire video just as it was, and they
Okay.
took it down
Gotcha.
for copyright.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, uh, but yeah, guys, please beware of of these companies. I'm talking Sensi, Herbalife, Body, uh, Amway, of course. There are quite a few other ones out there. I can't remember them, but there are a lot. If you hear the
Yeah.
words business opportunity, if you hear the words, well, maybe not necessarily a business opportunity per se, but if you hear the word second stream of income, second source of income, passive income, along with a I know this mentor that is a millionaire, you might want to keep your eyes and ears open because
Yeah.
most of the time that is multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
And what's supposed to happen with multi-level marketing is one person starts a business, then they recruit someone else that starts their business, right? So it's layers and layers of businessception essentially. Um, and it's supposed to be businesses that are connected together, but how they make their money is through the recruitment. Well, that's how the MLM side of it makes the money, and then you also have the tool scam, which is drastically more lucrative than the recruitment. And I've already talked quite a bit about this. I did a live stream over uh, Gladys's MLM exits series of videos that she did over the downfall of Sensi, and in that there were quite a few of the reps who were talking about their income, and some of them weren't even making 20% of their paycheck uh through through their own outside sales. 80 to
Wow.
90 to 95, even 99% of what they were saying was through recruitment, you know.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you almost fell into it too. Oof. Well, this is why we're here. This is why we're doing what we're doing, to help you
Yeah.
know so that you can recognize these scams. All right.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
that's why we always tell you, guys, please make sure that you spread this. All right, spread this message. Engage with the videos, engage with the live streams. Please make sure that you are helping us to get this information out. So some of you guys may not know this, but the United States president is involved in these MLMs. Okay,
Yeah.
um, President Trump has been involved with two MLMs specifically, Amway, and then also a MLM called American Communications Network.
Yep.
Right, he was a paid
Yeah.
promoter for 10 years from 2005 to 2015 when he was announcing
I think I think
his.
he owned one too, actually. I think he owned an MLM too, actually. I think that might have been what he was talking about.
Oh,
One of the
did he?
companies. I think he
I
owned.
didn't know
I think
he
he.
owned one. I never saw anything that he owned one.
Yeah, I remember in business. I remember finding that out that he owned one. Um,
Hmm.
and actually, there's an interview too before. It was like in the '90s. He was saying that like it was like a talk show, late night talk show. The interviewer was asking, what would you do if you were broke and you wanted to like build wealth? And like he would say, um, I would get started in a good MLM company and build my wealth from there. And then the audience actually booed. And then like he said to the audience, "That's why I'm up here, and that's why you're down there."
Really?
Yeah, it was on a talk show. I have to find a link, but like, yeah, he
Please,
said
yes.
gets started
Please
in
make sure you find that.
MLM.
Please make sure you find that and send that
Yeah.
to me because bro, I'm gonna post that everywhere. I'm gonna post that everywhere. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I do know that
Yeah.
there was a class action lawsuit that was filed in 2018 from multiple people in multiple different states against both the Trump family, not just Trump, the Trump family, and ACN. Unfortunately, that was dropped in 2024. Go figure. But as far as I know, it's been picked back up. But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that's going on. President Bush or a former President Bush has spoken at one of these Amway conferences. Former President Clinton has spoken at one of these conferences, and they're all over the world. They're in Japan,
Yeah.
they're in China, they're in the Netherlands, they're in Poland, they're in India. They're in a lot of different places, guys.
Yeah.
And they have ties everywhere. And unfortunately, a lot of people know what pyramid schemes are, but they don't know what MLMs are. They don't know that MLMs are pyramid
Yeah.
schemes. So,
Yeah.
and they always make it apparent in the very first few meetings that they are not a pyramid scheme. Why is it that the first meeting that you have with someone, you are so adamant about convincing them that you're not a pyramid scheme if you're not a pyramid scheme,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
the we there awareness is the I should excuse me what sunlight is the best disinfectant, right? And we have to all collectively stand together and get all of this information out. Awareness is what helps. So we got to do our part. We got to do our part. So, but we talked a lot about the false income claims, the deception, the um the tool scam. What
Yeah.
else
I
would
actually
you?
wanted to. Oh yeah, I wanted to go more in depth with the tool scam. So
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
I'm not sure why I'm not sure why Amway made that complimentary system for the first year annually
Mm-hmm.
for free. But I know with LTD, the reason why it's for free for the first year is because they were at least being investigated by the FTC, and to um, get away from the attention, the negative attention from the FTC and legal authorities, they made it the first year complimentary. That's what I heard. That's the reason why they went first year complimentary. Because before it was like when I first started, it was like I was charged right away actually when I first started, and then later on it switched to like your first 3 months it was for free, or no, first 3 months it was like cheaper, and then like it went to the full price subscription your fourth month. Now it's free for the first year just because like um they're being investigated by the FTC. Um, but yeah, yeah, I want to get to the tool system, how it works. Um, when you get through the vetting process, it's a 7 to 9 minute interview process. Once you get past that vetting process, you get launched and you join MY and LTD underneath them, and you sign up, and like you're being told from there on that like this is a passive like opportunity to build wealth through.
Oh, I guess he'll be right back, chat. So while he's gone, do you guys happen to have any questions? Anything that you would like elaborated? Anything that you quite don't really understand? I'll be absolutely happy to. Oh, the MLMs got him. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. The Amway's outside. Amway's outside. They're coming to him with pitchforks and torches and shit. Oh man. Yeah, as soon as we started talking about false income claims, they were like, "Huh? Surprised they're not at my door too." So I do have quite a few videos and live streams over MLMs. And I always encourage people to Okay, I got you. I always encourage people to look into MLMs, look into all of these things. And if they happen to have their own story or have someone who uh happens to have their story, then please reach out to someone, right? So, okay, that's he left the chat. What just happened? That's that's weird. Yeah, so if you happen to have, a story or know someone who has a story and wants to tell, please make sure you encourage them to tell their story. The more stories we have, the more awareness we spread. Hopefully the more change we'll do that. So, okay. Okay. Our boy TJ's phone died. So, the MLM's got his phone. My friends are too, even your brother? Oh, 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 okay. Okay, they're too silly to even bother. Okay, gotcha. They would rather stick to their 9 to 5. Unfortunately, 9 to 5 is not getting anyone anywhere these days, which is why people jump into these MLMs, right, for financial freedom. So, anyways, guys, while we're waiting on him to come back, I have to use the restroom. So I will be right back, guys.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. My phone died. Are you still there?
All right, guys, I am back. Appreciate the
Oh,
patience. Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
yeah. I went. I had to go to the restroom, waiting for you to come back. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna read.
Okay.
I'm gonna read
Sweet.
chat real quick. Um.
Okay.
All right. So, looked into it before. Apparently, to save their own ass, if reported, they will sack the one who asked you to buy the product. To buy some product, is it true? What do you mean? What do you mean by sack? So the question here is, um, to save their own ass. If reported, they will sack the one who asked you to buy some product. Is that true? I don't. You're gonna have to fire them. Oh, okay, okay. So if these MLMs are reported, right, to save themselves, would they fire the IBOs, right, or the distributors, uh, who asked this specific person to buy some product? I don't think I've ever seen that,
Yeah.
because it's not typically people from the outside who are reporting. Now, of course, there's going to be some people who do, right? Gladys from MLM Exit is one of them, but it's mainly the distributors themselves who are whistleblowing on these companies. So to answer your question, I haven't seen it. I don't think TJ has seen it, because the distributors themselves are the ones that are buying the product. And
Yeah.
be, because of all the deception, because of all the lies, the false income claims, because of the business model itself leaving them destitute, not just financially but emotionally, psychologically, and sometimes even spiritually, they whistleblow. So then those are the ones that are majorly reporting the company itself.
Yeah.
All right, so
Most of the time. Yeah.
back on going more depth, going more in depth over the tool scam.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My phone cut off. So yeah, once you get past the vetting process and you get launched and you join and you get recruited,
Mm-hmm.
you're told that Amway's the way to build passive income, all this wealth and stuff, and like focus on Amway alone, and that's how I decided to trade practice. Because it's all deception where like you're taught that Amway is the way to build all this massive wealth, when actually the higher ups earn most of their income from LTE, the tool system. So that's how I decided to trade practice. I spoke with some higher ups that used to be a part of LTD, and like they say that the higher ups in LTD, the emeralds and above diamonds They make 80% of their income from the tool system and 20% of their income from Amway. Um, so like that's a massive deception where like, I was taught that like, Amway is the way to build this massive lifestyle when it's actually from a tool system, and we're not disclosed how that tool system works. And
Yep.
legally, every rep has the legal right to be disclosed how the tools company works, the compensation plan.
Yep.
And through not disclosing that, it's also the FTC Act getting material information, which is the tool system, to help us get a better understanding of the whole business opportunity as a whole. So
Right.
that's the FTC Act violation, and it violates state consumer protection laws because you're being misled on some of the tool income on how it actually works. So like I'll expose the whole tools component now. So when you go platinum and above, that's when you begin to earn money from the tool system. So platinums begin to earn money from the tool system once they go platinum and above. Um, and the rule is the higher you go in ranks,
Yeah.
the more LTD will pay you from your downline that subscribes to LTD. And people that are below platinum make zero income from the tool system. And basically, when you're platinum and above, you earn a percentage from your downline that subscribes to LTD. It's different for every person that's a platinum and above because it's all discretionary income. It's all based off of lay discretion on
Yeah,
uh,
of
on
course it
on how
is.
much on how much you get paid, and like it's not set either because like it's kind of confusing, but like the tool system, it's not set because like every single month you have a different amount of people that's buying um, products in LTD because it all fluctuates where like you have, for example, 9,000 people in LTD one
Right.
month, and then maybe the next month it's like 8,000 or whatever. It all fluctuates, and it's
Mm.
all one giant pool because it's only reps that are in LTD that are buying products from LTD. So like it's not all like set and like um regulated. It's all just like a pool of income. It's all different every single month. So um I don't know if that makes sense. But basically you get a percentage from your team every single month. And it's all based off like discretion. And
Right.
I was told it's based off of how good of a speaker you're on stage, um, how many people do you have that are going to events, all LTD events, um, how good are you from LTD marketability, as far as being a good speaker on stage. And then like the last one is kind of misogyny. It's basically how attractive your wife is. That's what I was told. So that's all based off
What?
this discretion. It's all based off, yeah. How attractive your wife
What?
is. That's one of the requirements. So, as far as like how much income you get paid from the tool system from your downline. So it's all discretionary income. It's all based off Larry's discretion how much he decides to pay you.
So what you're
And so that leads
saying,
to
so what you're
people.
saying is Larry and Pam, they're not making any money.
No, they are just from the tool system.
No,
Most of the tool system. And
I'm making fun of Pam. Um
oh, gotcha.
so
Oh, I see what you mean now. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
got it now.
yeah, yeah. Don't worry, Larry and Pam. These are just jokes. You can take jokes, right? Because that's exactly what you were doing all the way throughout the spring conference. Yeah, yeah. You guys are all about jokes, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Fuck off. Um, dude, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's
had
all
no idea.
misogyny and like, yeah, and so like that leads to people like, for example, if you have the same size structure as someone else at part of OTD, like let's say you're a Ruby and you have the same size, same volume for tools purchases as someone else, you'll get paid different tool income because it's all discretionary income.
Yeah.
Whereas like if it was Amway, for example, if I had the same group size structure, same volume, I would get paid the same as someone else if I had the same volume and same structure. But with LTD, in that case, it's all different because it's all discretionary. So it's not set, it's not regulated. It's all based off layer discretion on how much you
Right.
get paid. I hope that makes sense. And like yeah, the
No,
higher
yeah,
you
no.
go in Amway rank,
It makes perfect sense. How well can you convince people to believe in this system, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's everything to wording to imagery, right? And
Yeah.
we all know that sex sells today. And if you have a very attractive wife, people are going to pay attention. That's why they say that, right? And so it definitely is misogynistic, 100%.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is. But at the same time, that also makes money too, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in
Yeah.
a society today that is only for profit. Morals and values have left the building, and people are just making money off of anything. People are literally making money off of selling feet pics, bro. Like that's how cooked we are, bro. That's how cooked we are,
Yeah.
right? So, um, it's really no surprise to me why all of. I mean, it also is because it's not a legitimate business. Elsewise, they wouldn't be
Yeah.
hiding from people,
Yeah.
and all of these things wouldn't be discretionary,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Yeah.
but go ahead.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Oh yeah, and the higher you go in MA ranks, the more LT is going to pay you from your downline that subscribes to OTD. And like, let's just say if you like DK and you like lose people, um, it kind of varies. Sometimes they'll pay you the same amount that you had before. So let's just say you went diamond and you didn't requalify. They might still pay you the same LTD tools percentage payout for the diamond level that you had if you not diamond anymore sometimes. Or they might it more might decrease. It depends on it's all on their discretion. So it depends on how valuable you are to LTD and how much of a blessing you are to LTD. So like sometimes
A
it
blessing?
might stay the same. Yeah, like basically valuable to LTD. Like how many
Okay.
people are going to the events, how many people are subscribing to LTD, how many people are day one on buying tickets to conferences and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
it kind of varies, but sometimes it can, if your group decays, your income might decay as well, or it might stay the same that you were before, because some diamonds aren't diamonds anymore. They still get that diamond percentage that they got initially when they went diamond, and some don't. It just depends on Larry's discretion and what he wants to pay you that day. Like
Right.
it's not based on what you produce. It's based off of your discretion. Whereas Amway, they'll pay you at the exact level that you're at and what you're producing. Whereas LTD, they pay you just on Larry's discretion. So
Right.
it's all just a mess on in terms of like Larry's discretion. And with that too, so when you join, you have to go to weekly meetings, which is $5, and you have to go to monthly team meetings, which is $10, and you have to go to conferences, which is 4 times a year. Um, and that's $135. Now it's $180 4 times a year. So they actually get paid from all those events. So platinums and above get paid from every weekly info session and monthly team meeting, which is $5 and $10 I mentioned before. And then emeralds and above make money from the conferences, not platinums and above, just emeralds and above. So like people that are below emerald, they don't make money from conferences, but emeralds and above do. And basically every emerald and above, they get um, a certain amount of dollars from every person that buys a ticket for a conference. So some emeralds get like $10 from every person that buys a ticket. So if they have like like 200 people on the team, they'll get $10 for each person that buys a ticket. And like some diamonds, I heard make like anywhere north of 40K from just one weekend. So it's a lot of money, and um, no one's told that they make money from these conferences, and actually everyone's told that it's all just for rental cost for conferences and events. But actually I have the contract too on my website too. It's called the LTD BSM competition contract, and it states there that platinums and above get money from team meetings and info sessions, monthly and weekly, and it's all split, so that all that value that you get from that they get Part of that goes towards renting out the hotels and the rooms for the meetings weekly and monthly, and then a majority that's left over, and it's all split with platinum and above, and you all pay in cash, by the way. So
Yep.
that's split with higher ups, platinum and above, and
Yep.
then the one that takes place 4 times a year, the conference that's all split with emeralds and above, and you
Mm-hmm.
get a certain amount from each person that buys a ticket from your downline. And diamonds actually get a percentage bonus from tickets sold in advance. So that's why they always want you to be day one because they get extra money from that, an extra bonus. And then the hotels as well. Um, it's called commercial kickback, where basically they get a source of income from every hotel that's booked from their room block. Because like when they release a conference ticket for sales, they have a room block for you to get a hotel room next to the conference, but they actually get a source of income from that hotel room block if you book a hotel room from the link they give you to book a hotel for that conference. So it's all sources of income and it's all hidden and we're all lied to as far as that, they don't get money from the hotels, they don't get money from the conferences, and they don't get money from the weekly and monthly meetings. That's all lies because I have a contract that states that what they get paid for. So that falls under state consumer fraud laws where you're being misled about this opportunity where you as the attendee, as the LTD member, you're paying for these things and you're being told that's all rental costs, all venue costs, when it's all source of income for higher ups. So that's all misleading, it's all lies, and it's all legal under state consumer fraud laws. And
Oof.
that's what makes it required for them to disclose the tools compensation plan in full in terms of like how it all works and like as a member, how do they get paid? So then I know, okay, when I reach their level, how can I get paid? It's all supposed to be transparent, and there's no transparency, and
Of
so
course.
that's all makes it illegal. And like they might lie and argue and say, no, we are not required to disclose the tourist comp plan, but you are because every single member that's a part of LTD is a member, and as well as their attendees for these meetings, and they're the only ones buying products and meetings for these LTD events. So we're
Yep.
required to, just like with Amway, um, we're required to be shown the Amway comp plan because we are reps for Amway and we recruit others into Amway and sign them up underneath us. It's the same with LTD. Every LTD member is signed up underneath that existing LTD member. So we are all recruiters for LTD. We are all reps for LTD as well. And so just like with Amway, we're required to disclose the tourist comp plan because we are rep for LTD and we're the only ones buying products from LTD and we're the only ones buying tickets to attend events for LTD. And so we're required to disclose all this comp plan with LTD, and not doing so is, a violation of the FTC Act and state consumer fraud laws because you guys are lying about the income that we're paying to attend these meetings, and it's all a deceptive trade practice because the higher ups make most of their income from LTD and less of their income from Amway, and we're all told on this deception that it's the opposite, where they make most of their income from Amway and not LTD, and it's all deception, it's all lies, and it's all illegal because like we're supposed to be required to be shown the tools comp plan um in full. So
Yeah. Lucy said something that is so very true. She said consumerism plus technology plus GDP plus disconnect to society equals people taking what they can get to get what they want. And that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. When you have a society full of disconnected people who are so wrapped up in their phones and the internet and a lot of things that take them away from the reality of what they live in. Obviously, it's going to be pretty soon that they start consuming a bunch of things, right? Because when they're so disconnected, there's no companionship, there's no uh, togetherness with everyone around them, and so they're going to start buying up things. And when you get into a habit of buying and buying, eventually, you're going to want to get out of this. Well, I mean, you're eventually going to buy into this lie, this scam, right? And it's the whole I want to look like my idols. I want to look like my life is made. And so it's so easy for people to get wrapped up in that. And I always I say now, not always, I say now that we should be looking out for our women because these companies they mainly go after women. 70 to 75% of MLM reps are represented by women. We're talking single mothers, we're talking military spouses, we're talking just women in general. It's fucking disgusting. It's absolutely, and it pisses me the fuck off. So Lucy also says algorithms push cheap products for large profit. They do. They absolutely do, and it ruins the supply of what Earth has to give. Exactly. Exactly. The Earth doesn't have unlimited resources. That's very true. That's very true. We're starting to run out of water now because of all these data centers, and that's very quickly that's very quickly running out. And the water that they do discard is so undrinkable that you're pretty much going to be left to thirst, unfortunately. People see people with higher status and uh, rush to buy items they throw away after a few months because it's trending. Exactly, exactly. The Gucci bags, or excuse me, the Gucci belts, the Pradas, the shoes, the cars, the hats. The I remember when a lot of people were buying Ray Bans. You know, people were buying Ray Bans, and now that's
I
out.
think I remember
Now you
that.
know, yeah, yeah, those ugly ass glasses. Oh yeah, 100%, man. And then now it's the Rolexes, you know, the stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know, we live in a society of sell, 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 right? Business. And it doesn't
yeah,
matter if the business is legitimate, doesn't matter if the business is moral, doesn't matter if it's even illegal, right? Which is what MLMs are supposed to be. They're supposed to be illegal because of how they operate.
yeah,
But unfortunately, the FTC still considers them to be a legal, legitimate business. Hopefully that changes. With
yeah.
Representative Ross Levin's um, uh, bill that was put forward, there was uh, a bill from Delaware, House Bill 162. Gladys and I did an episode over that. We did a video over the hearing, so please make sure you check that out. Some of the most vile and disgusting people who were against the bill, which is for restricting and making MLMs transparent. They were this is something that upset me the most. There was one I can guarantee she was in higher leadership in an MLM, and she was taking veteran unaliving, right? The 22 a day, which is now 45 a day. She was using that motto to perpetuate her false business practices. That that pissed me off. I almost put my fist through my fucking monitor. That's how angry I was. Um so the most disgusting vile people showed up in opposition of that bill. And this is why awareness, again, I keep talking about awareness because it's so true. This is why awareness matters. Because if we have the entire public on the anti MLM side, the side of truth, right? The side of actual change, then things may begin to change. But
Mhm.
yeah, collector items are hot on markets. They are. Funko, especially Funko. Labubu, don't know what Labubu is. etc. It's so damaging to the planet, consuming too much. It can be. It absolutely. It at what it absolutely is. It absolutely is. So money is pushed for status so much in this day and age. Exactly. So you see companies taking advantage of consumers and other businesses. Yep, I remember there was a girl that had her own business, and they were absolutely taking advantage of her. I tried to help her all that I could. I tried to give her all of this information, and to this day, I don't even know if she's in the business or not. You know, but all you can really do is try to convince them of the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so but yeah, go ahead and keep going, TJ.
Yeah. So on my website, I have information about it's called w.yourplanesoffountain.com. On there, I have evidence of how um, there's a guy named Hugh Zhang. He used to be an emerald, a part of the Brit Worldwide tool system. And he actually
Yep.
left because once he reached emerald, he realized that like
Real quick.
uh,
Brit Worldwide. That is a different line of affiliation. You have lines of I don't know if it's different for other MLMs or if it's the same for MLMs, but you have a line of affiliation, which pretty much we're talking about the tool scam here when we're talking about line of affiliation, right?
yep,
So,
yep,
um, you have LTD, which is leadership training development. That is a line of affiliation, and then you have Brit Worldwide, which is Worldwide Dream Builders. That is another line of affiliation. So you have two different kinds of tool systems where people have created to indoctrinate and extort people. So just to clarify for those who don't know what Brit Worldwide is or LTD, that's what they are. All right, keep going. Go ahead, TJ. I think his phone died again. I think his phone died again. We're gonna have to see if we can get him to do these on his laptop or maybe a desktop or something. So MLMs usually push products to target lower class people. Yep, exactly. Vulnerable people. Eventually push people to become part of the team with a promise of wealth. Exactly. And being your own boss. Exactly. That's exactly what they do. But in reality, they are taking advantage. They are. Of the employees, taking advantage of the employees and consumers. Right. Okay. So there's second part here. And most big companies in the world have the same kind of structure. Um, I would say a lot of Fortune 500 companies are, and here this is something that I want to show you guys too. This is something that I've also talked about on the channel. So let's see. Let's see. Lowe's CEO income versus average employee. All right. So this is something that I've talked about with you guys a long time ago. And this is what's happening now. You have company CEOs who are now making upwards of 500 or excuse me, almost 600 times more than their average employee's hourly wage, right? So, right, yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the times they get payouts through different dividends, through different salaries, of course, and maybe for through sales, they get maybe a percentage of that as well. All kinds of different stuff. But back in the day, they used to be what 30 something times, but now that's incredibly ridiculous, right? So even single level, right, which is what I'm assuming, just regular business is. Um, even I'm just gonna say even regular businesses, they are drastically turning into this master slave kind of operation, right? And a lot of the like I was saying in last night's live stream, to make a livable wage, right, you would have to make $8,000 a month. $8,000, right? And that's for providing for kids, that's for maybe having uh expenses set aside for health concerns or vehicle concerns, stuff like that. Uh, it's it, it's very quickly becoming drastically unaffordable. But that's by design. That's by design, and that's where we can talk about the Federal Reserve, how the note turned into the dollar, how the dollar turned into debt. We could talk about all that stuff, right? But we want to stick to MLMs here. Sitting on wealth is disgusting, and taking money from people who can't even afford rent still to sit on a larger pile. Exactly. Yep. Those are what I call parasites. And parasites cannot excuse me, parasites that harm the host cannot coexist with the host. It's like a bot fly, you know? Disgusting. My bad. It's semi-related to MLMs because of the flow of cash. Um, Not necessarily, because there's not really there's not as much deception. Can still be as bad, right? Because you have CEOs who are making almost 600 times their average employee's wage, but you're not that same CEO isn't putting forth a tool scam, right? And who is telling their employees to buy into this tool scam, right? That's a lot where the difference is. Just to kind of make it basic, definitely a whole lot different, uh, different level of structure. How exactly? Yeah, yeah. But welcome back. I
Yeah, my phone died again.
yeah, I figured. Okay, all right. So, just so that we can let your phone breathe, let's go ahead and just kind of wrap things up here a little bit, and
Yeah.
I want to hand it back to you to try to see you know what else you would like to say before we wrap things up.
Yeah, yeah. So like I was just saying that Hugh Zhang, he was a part of the Brit Worldwide tool system and he left because he went emerald. And that's when he really saw how much vast income was made from the tool system. And he realized that the higher ups were making most of their income from Brit Worldwide versus Amway. And he couldn't live with himself anymore. He didn't want to stay a part of this anymore as a higher rep because even though he was making like over six figures with Brit Worldwide tool system, he couldn't stand lying to his downline and have them be misled into thinking that they could earn all this money from Amway when really that the highest make most of it from the tool system, and that he realized that like if the tool system went away and there's no tool system, they would not be able to maintain their lifestyles and have this lifestyle that's being promoted from the higher ups to the downline. And
Yep.
so he couldn't live with that deception and those lies
Yep.
anymore. And so he left Bitwide and Amway as a higher
Hmm.
up. And so
Yep.
I had that on my website to show how the income is vast differently from Amway versus the tool system. And then I also to have an interview with a guy named Robert Michael, and he was a part of LTD, and he was actually sponsored by Larry Winter's son. So the owner of LTD, he was sponsored by Larry Winter's son named Steven Winters, and he actually saw close hand how the tool system works and how the money's made and how much income is being made. And he said that he actually did. He said that he saw Larry's financials, and he said that he saw that Larry was making most of his money from LTD and less from Amway. He actually said that like without LTD, um, Larry makes a tenth of what he would actually make without LTD. So 10% comes from Amway and 90% comes from LTD as far as income. So I just wanted to show that on my website to show how that it's all deceptive trade practice where you know, you're being told that you can earn this lifestyle from Amway, but it's mostly from the tool system. And we have a right to be
Right.
shown how that structure works financially as a rep and as an IBO. So I just wanted to show that, just to show that I'm not lying that the hires make most of it from the tool system. It really is true. The hires do make most of their income from the tool system and less from Amway. But
Yeah.
we're told it's it intentionally.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely right, man. We absolutely deserve transparency, and so that's why we gotta do all that we can to, again, support our influencers, our social media people, right? To force this transparency, right? So myself included, TJ here, MLM Exit, MLM Recovery Podcast, um, Julie Anderson, Always Marco, XIBO. I think what was her name? Savannah? No, Hannah, right? No, I'm pretty sure it's Hannah.
And I don't think I know her. And
I'm pretty sure Gladys. I'm sure Gladys does. But Hannah, I think,
okay,
is another, and
gotcha.
I can't remember her name. I don't think I've met her. But regardless, there's a lot of people. Well, not a lot, but there are definitely quite a few people out there who are speaking out against MLMs and really pushing for change. And so, what really matters is making our voices heard, and that's where we would appreciate you guys in supporting all of our content by engaging with it, of course, and sharing it out, and just helping with the algorithm, because the algorithm really likes to try to suppress stuff like this, especially now that um, anything to do with critiquing this administration or critiquing Trump himself. There's a lot of social media platforms out there that are really suppressing, really suppressing this kind of content. So just make sure that you guys are helping us out with that. We greatly appreciate that. So, but all right, man. Is there anything last that you would like to say?
No, that was the first part I wanted to talk about. I have it kind of divided up, so
Okay.
I'll talk about next how it's all tax evasion and money laundering because like there's a lot of money under the table that's not being reported. All that
Yeah.
cash payments to meetings and stuff. So I'm gonna expose that, and then
Ah.
I'll get into how the whole structures a pyramid scheme as well with
Okay.
LTD particularly. Because I actually have evidence of that too, and then
Okay.
I'll get later into Rico, and then criminal enterprise later on, and then wire fraud as well. So
Okay.
there's a lot of
Well,
elements of fraud.
well, that sounds good, man. Dude, thanks as always for coming on again. And before we hop off, I do want to kind of elaborate this to protect myself, to protect you. Anything that we say in this live stream, this video here, is our opinion, and whatever we talk about is for educational and entertainment purposes. So this is to protect me, to protect you as well. And so, um, yeah. Though, so that being said, fuck MLMs, and fuck anyone who stands with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, that seems like it is going to be the end of the live stream. We're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. Do you guys happen to have any questions at all before we wrap things up? While I have TJ here, we can kind of just do a little bit of a quick Q&A, and then we can just head on out of here after that. TJ, were you a part of an MLM?
Yep, Amway.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So there are two videos that I put out last week. I'm pretty sure it was last week. Of TJ's story. So TJ talks about his story of him going through Amway, and then that was part one. Part two is him being sued right now for exposing multiple leadership within the company. Right. So yeah,
Yeah,
you've been in Amway for 6 years, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you were in Am.
2016 to 2022.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in that time, a lot of really shady stuff was going on. A lot of really shady stuff.
Yeah.
So, um, there's a question that I have. So you were talking about meeting with a lot of the higher ups in Amway. Are they speaking out against Amway, or did they just happen to leave,
Um.
or what happened with that?
Uh. Some are and some aren't. Yeah, I don't want to out. I want to out them, but yeah, but some are, and then like others, they just want to stay quiet because like of them they want to just kind of like move on. 'Cause, like some of them are still,
Hmm.
I don't want to say traumatized. I don't know. I don't want to speak for them, but like some of them just kind of like want to leave that in the past and they don't want to like bring up old wounds and stuff publicly. It's like they just kind of want to live. They just want to live a private life. If that makes sense. They don't want to like speak out publicly and put their names out there. So like yeah, a lot of it for me was like I went on a lot of ex MLM Amway groups, and from there, there's a couple of higher ups that used to be a part of different tool systems, and so
Yeah.
um, that's how I got introduced to some of the higher ups that used to be a part of LTD was through a lot of like groups through like ex Amway groups on Facebook, social media, Instagram. Sometimes I might have even reached out to someone, like if I heard an interview from a podcast somewhere, if they had their email, I would email them and then they would, reach back out to me sometimes. And that's how I kind of learned about LTD. And then there are some public ones, but yeah, I don't want to out them because because like they're trying to do a lawsuit as well, and like they don't want to get my lawsuit mixed with their lawsuit, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's fine. It's
uh,
it's definitely appreciated them, you know, suing. You know,
yeah,
it's definitely appreciated. I would definitely encourage those who just want to move on to just tell their story. I mean,
yeah.
they don't have to show their face, they don't have to show their names or anything like that. They can just tell their story. I
Yeah.
would encourage
Yeah,
them to do that.
some do that. There are some accounts out there that are like they either use their first name only, no last name, or they might just be like anonymous. But they are out there. Just people don't know who they are sometimes because they don't want to be like actually known and stuff. So speaking out. So,
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we get these things situated here pretty quickly. All right,
yeah.
let's see. Take care, man. By the way, you going live later or not? Just curious. Since you already answered my question I had, tell TJ I hope he has a good rest of his day too. Well, thanks, Alex. I appreciate you, bro. And I'm sure TJ also appreciates that as well. Uh,
Yeah. Thank you.
I I might go live later on today. I, I've been having a lack of motivation to finish the BT drawing. So I think I just might do a game or something. I might play like Little Nightmares or something. I don't know, but I might go live a little bit later. It just depends on how bored out of my mind I'm gonna be. So I've just been trying to rest up because I've been absolutely exhausted. I've been running everywhere. I've been doing a lot of stuff here recently. So yeah, things are starting to catch up with me. So I gotta take a break. Maybe like a day or two. I gotta take a break though. So but yeah, so it just depends on. I might go live. It just depends. So, but yeah, TJ, man, thanks again for coming on, dude. You're awesome, bro. You're awesome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
For
for having me. I really appreciate your time and
oh
your
yeah,
platform and having me share my story and expose LTD on your platform. So
this is the whole reason this channel exists, man, is to help you guys. So whatever you guys need help with, we'll do that for sure. Welcome to come game with me tonight and hang out, decompress. Oh, I appreciate that, Lucy. Um, I'll have to. I've already played Minecraft yesterday. I don't want to play Minecraft tonight. But I might dabble in another game. You're more than welcome to join for that. If you need to rest, rest. Damn it, your health is more well. True, true. I just don't know how to rest anymore. I don't know how to do it. But yeah, man, TJ, dude, you're awesome, bro. Guys, again, links in the comment section earlier are the links to his social. He also has a petition out right now, which only needs what, like one or two signatures now.
yeah, I think it's at 48, 47, I think,
Forty
right now.
eight was the last one that I was the last that I looked at it. So I tried to find that link to the petition, but YouTube doesn't let me. Um, YouTube's comment limit is ridiculous. So, but you can go to TJ's story, and in the description you'll find links to his socials, the petition. So make sure you guys go sign that petition. All right, please go sign that petition. Okay. We need to reach that goal. 50 signatures. We're almost there. So
Yeah.
please, guys, make sure you
And
go
and
and do
then
that.
and then my website's of all the info that I know about LTD, so it has all my evidence about frauds. So like if you want to know what I know, it's all on my websites. So
I think I put your website on there too, didn't I?
yep, yep, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So guys, make sure you're going and checking them out. We'd greatly appreciate that. Um, I have PC and console, any multiplayer, the offer is there. Okay. Yeah. I will get with you after stream. Okay, Lucy. And we could definitely get into to some gaming for sure. Uh, so, but I'll reach out to you. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be the end of this live stream. TJ, you are awesome again, my man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
And
thank you for having me.
oh, of course, anytime, man. We would like to start doing this either weekly or bi-weekly, and and this is actually going to be separate from the other anti-MLM podcast that I usually do with everyone else. So, um, TJ, man, you've got a lot of info. I mean, the knowledge is definitely there. So we're definitely going to be picking your brain here going forward. So, but please make sure you stay optimistic, stay strong. Anytime you need me, you know where I'm at. Just reach out and you know take care, man. All right.
Thanks, man.
So
I really appreciate it.
guys, real quick, thanks for hopping on. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and hang out with us to just come and show us some support as we're talking about real world stuff, stuff that has affected so many people. 20 million Americans have been affected by MLMs. That's 7.7% of the American adult population. Right. That needs to change. And so we appreciate you guys showing up and showing some support. So I love every single one of you. Thank you. And I will probably be seeing you guys later on today. So that being said, you guys have a great little break here or day if I don't go live again. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.